Welcome to
You Can Sit With Us.
My name is Loriane. You can call me Lo.
Bing-a-ling-a-ling is Tieona.
Hey, I'm Ezzy, Miss E-double-Z-Y.
And last but not least, it's your girl Angela on the mic.
Pull up a chair.
Hello!
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Welcome back to our podcast.
We're doing this.
Girls, with Valentine's as our theme,
Yes, in the spirit of Valentine's Day.
you were saying, T, that you don't really see the point, as in you don't need one day to celebrate your love.
Yeah, like, for me, then that's just will give Jay an excuse to think, okay, I'm not going to do nothing for the rest of the year. But when Valentine's come, no. I don't want it to be a day where, okay, we're going to go out and we're going to... Because Jay is not someone that likes to go out anyway. Mm. So I don't want him to feel, okay, when this day comes now, he has to go and do all this extra. No, I want you to just be spontaneous and do it whenever, whatever day of the year or the month, you know what I mean? Don't wait for this one day. So I don't see the big deal.
Special day.
No.
For some people. But do you think, T, that maybe it's because you have different priorities to a lot of other people, in that you have children, you put them obviously above other things. You have so many responsibilities.
Because like I said, I never had a Valentine's Day. Like the guys I used to date before must have been cheapskate or whatever, but I never used to get no kind of Valentine's thing. So I never kind of was caught up with that anyway. It's only until like obviously me and Jay got together, he always does this thing where he gives me like one single rose and then like other little things here and there. But
Do you guys go on date nights?
we do date nights even like now, but
Yeah.
we don't wait for like a big thing.
Yeah,
But only when we feel like, okay, we haven't really seen each other. Like we live in this house, but we don't really see each other. Let's just take a break and give us some time. Then we'll
That's
do
so
it.
important.
Yeah, like our time. So for me, I feel like that's more important than a damn Valentine's Day.
I just remember this one time Aaron and I went out on a boat. I think it was like Westminster or something. Embankment Pier, one of those. Anyways, there's a boat that you can have meals on and whatnot. It was the most horrible experience ever.
Really?
As in, so the kitchen had basically run out of all of their food, and
Oh my
the
God.
one day that,
On Valentine's Day?
yeah, the one day that you know you're gonna get booked because of couples and romantic meals and stuff. So we got there, and like there, it was super disorganized, and the full menu only had half of what was written on the menu. And we were sat next to this couple that were complaining about their experience. Guys, can you believe like there's nothing on the menu? We've been waiting here
So
for
what,
like
they were
an hour.
sold out? What time of the day was this?
I have no idea what was happening, but basically it was one of those things that you had to pre-book online. Mm-hmm. So obviously they knew how many people.
were
Yeah,
coming.
exactly. So people had the right to get
my God.
to get angry at. But anyways, we had this couple next to us, who were obviously pissed off, and they looked like they recently got together. Or I don't know. It wasn't a couple
awkward.
like Aaron and I.
Yeah.
You know, that we don't care if it's Valentine's. We celebrate our love whenever.
whatever.
But for them, it was like extremely special. Maybe it was like their first
Yeah.
Valentine's
Were they young?
Day. No, they were quite.
See, that's
wouldn't
the
say
thing.
she
When
was-
you're
When you're
young, have to be
young-
a pressure.
No, but when you're young, you grow up thinking, oh, Valentine's Day is important.
That's the thing.
Like
They
it's what's put on
they
you.
weren't
No.
young, so that's why we were like a bit shocked. So basically, they're like, "Oh," and the guy was just kicking up a whole fuss. The one day, man, the one day.
Oh, were
The
they
one day
hood?
that- Yeah,
Oh,
the one day that we
disaster.
try to make it special. Yeah,
Disaster.
yeah. And they kept complaining to the waiters and everything. And Aaron and I were just
Oh,
laughing.
the poor
'cause-
guy, he probably thought he was going to get some that night, but
Do you
because
know what I mean?
Oh,
So it was
stress.
it was just hilarious. For us, it was hilarious because they were so unprepared. But we didn't. It's
But
not
you
that,
didn't really care.
No,
It's
because
like-
it's not our first date, and we've been to loads of other restaurants that are okay. And okay, this restaurant's a big crap. Next Valentine's, we're gonna do it with something else.
I'm sorry,
But
I
for
feel like
them,
that's
it was
dead.
just like the one day of the year that we have to do this.
Yeah.
and they messed it up. No, man, no. It
Oh,
was just
God.
too
What was he going to
hilarious.
do? Beef the waitress?
All
What was he
night?
doing?
All night they were beefing the waitress.
I'm dead.
Poor thing.
It was just
Was
too
he packing?
hilarious.
No, sorry. I'm serious, guy.
They were just
Imagine-
going in.
But I feel like these couples, the ones that got all out for Valentine's, they'll do it and then next couple of months, nothing's happening. Like, keep that same energy.
No, but you know what I think it is? Because I will say, I'll hold my hands up and say, I'm very guilty of being one of those girls when you're in a relationship. Oh my God, Valentine's Day is coming up. He better be planning something. And if he's not, then it's Arm's house. We are warring.
She said it's Arm's.
Really?
And then Valentine's Day will come, and it's obviously not as good as it's supposed to be because it's just a day you put so much pressure on for no reason, and it's a big fat flop, and it's raining, and then the booking is not gone through, and then all these different things are falling apart. And then I start to realize, now being single, I start to realize the reason I put so much pressure on days like that is because I'm trying to prove to myself that there is something special with that person. Like subconsciously I'm thinking, oh my God, if this Valentine's Day is a flop, then that means maybe it's true. Maybe I'm not meant to be with this person. Oh my God, this has to work. It has to be a great day.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's why I put pressure on those days, because deep down inside, I know he is not the one. But I haven't realized it yet.
Wow.
Mate, being single, you really start to learn things, man. You really
know what
do.
It is, Ez, the older you get, that's why I always say, when you get to a certain age, you know exactly what you want, how you want, where you want. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because you don't have time to waste. That's why when you're going to find the guy, you're going to know exactly. Like, there's no 5 years waiting list and 5 years dating. You know.
Yeah, of course.
You spent all your teenage and
dealing
your
with doo-doo.
Yeah, so when it's that, you'll know whether it's good or bad. Don't worry.
And the older you get, you plan your own Valentine's, man.
Me, like, we're doing
I
this.
cannot.
Okay, cool.
I'm doing what I want.
What
I'm
did I
planning
hear?
this shit.
You just
I'm choosing the restaurant. I'm booking the hotel. I'm choosing the spa.
booking the hotel.
No, because I'm like, I don't want to be disappointed. And you know when you have like, my expectations are very high and I'm very critical. And
Virgo.
I'm going to be telling you this was shit.
Yes.
So instead
of that, yes, Loriane.
putting it on someone else, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to plan my own Valentine. That's why I like to plan my stuff.
So are you one that is going to plan like all the Valentines for the rest of your life? Because of your high expectations.
Until he tops it.
Do you know what? That's actually
Maybe.
a good position to be in, because if, say, you're with your guy and he knows how you plan your Valentine's Day, he will be picking up tips if he's a good guy. That
Not
uses his
necessarily
brain.
because...
Yeah, and then he'll be using the same tips, thinking, oh, Loriane likes this, she doesn't like this. Oh, when she plans, she does this, she does that. If he's there picking up notes, then one day he might do a surprise and be like, I've planned
That's the
Valentine's
thing.
this
I'm the
year,
type
babes.
that wants to be surprised. So we take it in turns to plan like a holiday or to plan Valentine's Day, because I don't want to give someone all of the pressure every single year.
Whose
turn was it this year to plan?
Probably mine, but I'm definitely. I feel like I'm definitely the one with.
See, I wish Jay would take
initiative in those
turns. He doesn't take turns.
No shade.
No shade.
He does not take turns. He's just like, babes, it's fine. You do it. You're good at these things. I don't like, I'm not good. He always try and be like, I'm not good at this thing. Sometimes I would love for him to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
But then again, I feel like
that.
if his kind of spontaneous is like, no, what is this place kind of thing? So maybe I'm kind of glad he kind of just leave it to me, because I would be very like,
Well, Jay, if you're listening, take some notes. Tieona is dropping.
Because I feel like in a way you're kind of treating yourself as well,
True.
It's not just like, I want to eat good food. I don't just want to go to the restaurant where you want to go. I want to eat too. I want to have a nice time. I don't know. So I just feel like,
what if he says that your Valentine planning is crap?
Yeah, maybe it's not what he wants. How about that?
Deal with it.
That's right. Nothing to say.
I don't know what to say.
It's like, how can he say that? No.
But that's why you take it in turns. 1 year it's you, 1 year it's...
Man, this is working
But you
for
know,
her.
the thing is like, you can plan it as well together. You
Yeah,
can say,
yeah,
what
yeah,
is it that you want to do? We want to do this. We want to do a spa.
Yeah.
And then you do your research and together you come up with the spa and you go and then...
Bad. I'm really struggling to remember. I remember the year of the barge.
What's the barge? The ship? The boat thing?
Yeah.
I can't remember
the year
my
of the
past
barge.
Valentines.
And then I can't remember anything else. What did we do last year?
I can't even remember last year.
Yes, I remember.
Same.
You know what? A lot of the times we're actually gigging on Valentine's Day because we're playing for other couples.
Aww.
So we always end up like celebrating a few days either before or so sometimes we just have like a nice dinner indoors.
I just feel like Valentine's overrated. And I feel like these young girls, especially the ones in new relationship, they're putting too much pressure on the guys. If the guy don't get you nothing and you know that's your man and that's your lady, just chill out. Because the more you pressure the guy to do something for Valentine's Day, the more you're pushing him away. Because if she's going to be like this on Valentine's Day, imagine she's going to be on her birthday. Imagine she's going to be on this day and that day. Just relax and just let it happen. There's nothing wrong with a little rose, a box of chocolate, and have food at home. You ain't got to go to the most expensive bloody restaurant.
Or maybe he can make the nice meal.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm definitely
But guys,
up for
we're
that.
living in an Instagram era.
Yeah,
so who's really going to be taking a picture of the pizza you put in the oven versus the meal that
Why
you've
has it
got
got a
at
pizza
Zuma?
in the oven? Though?
I'm
Put me
just
some
saying.
steamed fish.
I'm just playing
Yeah.
devil's advocate. I agree with y'all, but I'm just playing
meal.
devil's advocate.
No, nice
Home
steam.
cooked
I'm
meal.
talking about all out. A nice roast, some steamed fish. You know, not no pizza.
You're making me hungry.
But sometimes Valentine, just take your mom out, you know?
That's right.
Just take your sisters.
Take
Just
yourself
to go,
out.
like, you know.
Why you do that?
It's not just
Because that's
isn't
what I'm
just
gonna
for
be
like the
doing.
couples. Sometimes just take the people that you love.
Yeah, it is about your love. But
true.
that's why you have where you just
Girl
spend time with
time.
your girlfriends.
Girl time.
Is it the day after Valentine's?
No. Like, oh yeah, I remember what we did one time. So one day I was working night shifts on Valentine's Day, and Aaron came all the way to Primrose.
I remember this.
Yeah, Primrose Hill towards Camden, and he spent the night shift with me.
Oh.
And I remember there's these girls that I was basically working supervising some apartments. This is my temp job that I had back then, and so at the concierge desk and whatnot. So these girls saw that we were there, and I was just like, "Oh, thank you so much, babe. That's so sweet of you." And they're like, "Oh, we saw you. We thought we would bring you some chocolates left over from our girls' night because we have loads of girlfriends." So they brought us some chocolates.
That's so
He brought me the
nice.
flowers.
That's really
And then we
cute.
just had our little.
I think moments like that are
That's
more
what
authentic.
Valentine's
Yeah,
about. I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
people are forgetting that it's about that love and appreciating someone, but now it's just about the gifts and what lingerie they're gonna buy and where they go. No,
So what lingerie
Consumerism.
are you gonna buy?
girl, the same one I got in the house now. I ain't spending no damn money on no damn
Okay.
lingerie. Please.
Who
Something's
feels
gonna come off.
who puts on a show for Valentine? Do you girls do that?
A show, you know.
Nah.
Who puts on a show full stop doesn't necessarily have to just be Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but Valentine is the special one. So like,
Well, Valentine's
Well,
it's Valentine's and Christmas and like New Year's and
Christmas
then
is
the
not
birthday.
a
Yeah,
day.
you
for me, it's the
wear a little
Christmas.
Christmas
Yeah.
sexy outfit.
No, boo. Christmas is not the time for. That's not when you wear your sexy lingerie. That's not a thing.
Is it not? Okay,
With
well,
the bell on your bum, so you're shaking and you sound like the slave.
All right,
No. Sorry.
Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's, birthdays.
Okay, year
Christmas.
round. Okay.
Never heard of that one.
It's the gift. You give
That
presents.
keeps on giving.
Yeah. You give presents, so you might as well
All right, for
give
this
it
year
all.
go all the
Christmas,
way.
I don't know what I'm getting for Christmas. Okay, cool.
Wrapped it up in a little bow.
Well, yeah, Valentine's. Yeah, definitely. You know.
Put on a show.
I mean, I feel like if they enjoy it, just do what you want to do, you know? Just, that's it. What can you say?
No one wants to answer the question. Everyone's skirting around it.
What's the question?
What was the question, Loriane?
Who's putting on the show for Valentine?
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
Loriane wants answers.
I guess we can put on a show. Yeah.
what kind
Very
of show?
enticing.
A strip tease, a strip dancing? What kind of show?
I don't know, whichever. Like, okay,
Red
go
light
on.
district, mate.
Tell us what is your show.
Just,
How about you, Loriane? Is that what
Nah,
you're
man.
Your
going to
show is.
Your girl is anemic. I'm tired.
Hey, wow.
I don't do this stuff.
My girl said she's anemic. Oh,
After all of that, she want me to be out here
So
giving
you
show.
want him to wine and dine you, take you to nice fancy places
that you picked.
that you picked,
No, you're
and
out
that
of order.
you're forcing him to enjoy, and then you get home and
And
you go
I
to sleep.
No,
I'm anemic.
that's not acceptable, Loriane. No, not in the name of love.
I mean,
Okay.
you can do anything any day, to
No,
be honest.
no,
You don't
no.
have to have sex on Valentine's Day.
No, you don't understand the thing with guys.
You tell us about guys.
They're expecting this because look, they've done all of this thing for you here. Well, I'm speaking from my perspective. Jay, he hates when we go out to fancy restaurants. He hates those kind of things. He hates just being in the whole scenario. So if he's done all of this for me, when we get home, my energy better be on 100. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not accepting that. He's not accepting. Like, okay, I did what you wanted to do. Now it's my turn.
Oh wow.
Now it's my turn.
Interesting.
But then maybe don't you feel like guys feels like, okay, that's a bit regular? Like, what are you gonna I'm taking you to the restaurant, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and what are you gonna give me? Pussy? It's like, but mate, I get that shit all the time.
Though. But that's the thing, it doesn't have to be the same. Who have sex in the bed anymore?
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be the same.
It's like, guilty.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the same. Isn't it?
All right.
we learn every day.
Before you get down to it, you got a foreplay. That foreplay needs to be the main seduction of sex. Because for me, without that, it doesn't make no sense. Just drop me out real quick. Well, yeah. I'll get off here.
Don't you guys like ever think sometimes that don't you ever wish it could happen all in the so you eat and you don't have to wait until you get home, because by the time you get home, the 1 hour drive from central London back home,
well, listen to Tieona.
Nah, man.
Well, that's why you have the home cooked meal.
Find a corner.
That's what I mean. Like I'm up for that. Like in the car, let's find the corner. Find something and do your thing. Like I can't wait till we get home. As in, like,
there's a lot of lonely roads. I'm just saying, in parks.
So where is the kinkiest place you've ever spill it all?
In a park.
Okay.
In a park.
Okay.
Yeah.
In London parks.
What, like the Royal
with
Parks,
the CCTVs?
Hyde Park,
like Greenwich Park.
You know when you
oh my God, there's CCTV everywhere.
Oh my God,
no, it's not.
You don't know Greenwich Park.
No,
I'm not talking about the main where the
observatory is.
No,
you go in the Rose Garden, babe.
Oh, you sound like you've also ventured down that way as well, Angela.
I know Greenwich Park in and out. Don't you worry.
I wonder how.
Don't you worry.
Okay,
but honestly, you could drive in sometimes. You got those lonely streets. Pull over, babes. Pull over. Why wait until we get home?
And what happens when a police officer walks past the car? Is it illegal here?
It's the husband. I mean,
it's your partner who only get a warning.
Yeah, but isn't it illegal to have sex in your car?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Is it?
I don't think you can. I don't know. I think they're gonna tell you to stop.
Obviously, if you're on a main road where it's
lit,
but if it's I'm talking about a dark road, no houses for miles. What's the problem? Do you know what I mean? If it's a main road where it's lit and it's like public indecency.
Okay. I don't know. I don't have a car.
No, but Loriane said the hotel. See, that's another thing. Like, fine, you don't have to be kinky all the way. Hotel, right next to the restaurant where we were, because.
That's fine. Make sure it's a hotel that's like super high up, just on the. Those hotels are really long glass windows, just up there. Just on the window.
I see the vision.
Yeah, you see the vision on the window, in the bathroom, shower. Forget the bed. Don't need no bed.
Okay,
oh wow!
You gotta make it spicy. It can't be the same.
Okay,
every
so
day.
Loriane, same question to you. Where's the kinkiest place that you've ever had sex?
You know what? It's not even kinky because it was the struggle of being young. You know when you're young and you don't have a place to have sex, so you're just fucking anywhere, really. It wasn't to be kinky. It was just like, you just gotta have to do it here.
And where was it?
Hilarious.
I did it in the park. I think the craziest one... That's a bit random. In the hospital.
Wait.
Some Grey's Anatomy
crap
going on.
Wait, where in the hospital?
I'm hot.
Oh my God.
Loriane, this is kinky.
In the hospital, in like the fire exit.
Bing-a-ling-a-ling.
Place.
Just like that.
Tieona's shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think no one was
because anyone could have come through that exit.
Yeah. Mate,
Wow,
I think that's why now I'm just like the most boring. I'm just like plain Jane on 100.
You've done it all, mate.
As your friend pleading to you, bring that fire back. I don't know if it's because since I've had kids, I'm even more like, every time I see Jay, I just want to jump on it. I don't know. It's since I've had kids.
Oh, really?
But literally, me and Jay probably have sex maybe 5 times in a week, and I'm not even fronting. Seriously.
Really? Is that a lot, guys? See, I don't know. It's been a long time.
Always ready to go.
Where do you find the energy?
Wait, and
I
you
feel like
work
that's
and
what
you
I
have
look
kids.
forward to at the end of the night.
Loriane, let's claim it for us.
Yeah, so don't
Loriane's
looking
tired,
bring
mate.
it back.
I don't know. I have some kind of hormone imbalance. I don't know what it is, but mate, I'm just not turned on at all. And this is like, sorry, it brings the down a bit mood. This is a serious conversation, but
Yeah,
it's like
but you know what?
I'm just tired. I just like my mind keeps going, and I can't relax for shit and get into the phase where I'm like, okay, let's do this.
You know what it is? It's different for every girl, and also your libido and your sex drive is different. It's different depending on the day of the month. It's different depending on your schedules, obviously, and just different in terms of your own nature. Like, yeah. So I definitely hear you on that, and I think we can't shame girls that aren't,
Of course not.
that sexually driven because everyone's different. But the girls that are, man, woo!
I don't know how you
Good
do it.
for you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, great.
Like,
good
honestly,
for you.
I don't know how to do it sometimes. I'll just be at home. Obviously, kids are in bed. Everything's done. I'm just there, and Jay will just come home or whatever. And I'll just...
Is it like the whole shebang?
What do you mean by the
just-
whole
Or is it a
shebang?
quickie? Yeah,
quickie.
No, a whole shebang.
Every
Like, I'll
time,
either join
every
him in the
time.
shower sometimes. Have
Yes,
a little
Tieona.
shower scene.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, she's having flashbacks.
Guys, literally, we've lost her. We have lost Tieona. We have lost Tieona.
Tieona, you cracked me
Tieona,
up.
come back.
This is no, but it's I think you're
That's so
definitely
long.
on the
Joining
right.
someone in the shower.
Have you never done that?
I've done it, but now, like, if you ask me, I'll be like, mate, the shower is small. I don't want to
Oh,
wet my
wow.
hair. It's all long. I'm
much
thinking of like
thinking.
all the whole long process around it. I don't know. I think I'm a very mental person, and if my head is not in the right place, then
You can't really relax.
Angela.
I'm trying to place myself where I feel I'm definitely the type of person that gets tired. I'm anemic as well.
I'm anemic too, but that's not, no.
For
We're all anemic.
Wait, anemic people, definitely at the end of the day, it's not the one. But catch me in the morning, babes, and I'm ready. That's when I have all my energy.
So catch me in the
You know what I mean? So you have to know when to...
Catch me in the morning.
You have to know when the right time is for me.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just hope next 10 years from now, I still look at Jay the way I do it. 'Cause he would just be in the kitchen, just randomly standing up. And I'm like, I'm still mesmerized by this guy.
Wow.
Sorry.
I love
Literally.
This is beautiful.
You know?
And I definitely wish it for you because it's amazing when you can look at that person the same way even after all that time.
Yeah. I'm always turned on. Sorry.
Oh.
Which is great.
that's
Okay, calm it
fantastic.
down. Save it for when you get home.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the girl was saying that to fall asleep, she has to play with herself and like
That's a great way of
orgasm.
falling asleep if you have insomnia.
No, but every single night, that's how she goes to sleep, by having an orgasm. And I was just like, wow. I mean,
It does make you tired after. You just want to...
It's the best sleep.
So
But
you
every
can't
single night.
sleep
Yeah,
if
that's
you
a
don't have
problem,
an
though.
orgasm.
that's how she falls asleep. Like
there's
that's
something
her
wrong with
moment.
You see, the thing that I have an issue with is about the sex talk. It's always on the same diversion. Everyone is a fucking freak. Everyone wants to suck dick all day. Nobody talks about the other side,
Yeah.
which affects a lot of women.
Yeah,
A lot of
agree.
women don't have libido. A lot of women like suffer with like sex issues, and they always talking about like all this stuff. And I'm like, where? Like where? Because except Tieona here, I can talk to a lot of my friends, and there is a lot of issue. I have friends here that are 30 years old that never orgasm.
Yeah.
That are looking
I
for
think they
the
haven't find that
orgasm.
guy to because...
So
that's
I'm
what
just
it
tired
is.
of always this. Yeah, I need to have sex morning, afternoon, evening. I need to masturbate every
See your
night so I
face
can
right now.
sleep. I need to suck dick 3 times a day. Okay, girl, just you don't have a job.
But then again, Loriane,
Oh my God.
just as you're
Maybe I'm
saying,
just hating.
That is on one today.
no, but Loriane,
Don't you have a job?
just as we were saying, you can't shame girls that don't have a libido. You can't shame girls that do, babes.
Okay.
Because
know.
it goes both ways. And if you do have that drive, get what you need to get, girl. Do your thing.
Well, I get what you're saying, because it's not all the time. Like, you have these females that can just come just by a normal way of coming. There's different type of way to come. You know what I mean? So it's just they just need to find that one person that can find that for them.
Do you think it's the person, or do you think it's the methods?
I think it's also your partner, because if your partner don't study you or know what you like or know what works for you, then it won't happen. Because you have some girls that are probably shy. They don't want to say, okay, I don't come to a normal.
Not even just vaginal. That. They might not even know themselves.
So just need to kind of...
You need to explore
yourself.
both
of you. Like, okay, baby, I like that. I don't like this. Do that more. Do you know what I mean? Talk to each other.
Interesting. But yeah, Loriane, that we have to keep the conversation open for women. I wonder, we should really look it up. Like, what's the statistics?
Yeah, maybe that can be like a proper topic that we dive into.
That whenever you're having sex with your partner, like, honestly, if he's doing something or she's doing something you're not enjoying, say it there and then. Say what you like, as that person's not judging you. That's your partner.
Sometimes it's hard because, you think they're not judging you, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. And
but at the end of the day, we're both coming out here satisfied. That's how I feel.
I think it stems from like other issues. I think it's not just like, I don't know how to tell my partner this. I don't know how to tell my partner that. I think it stems from maybe like other issues that you have. Like, I know I have a friend, she has a lot of like daddy issues and she feels like really blocked because maybe like her dad used to tell her, don't dress like this, you look like a hoe, or this like this. So she doesn't know how to open herself and she's still struggling with this. And then it comes out a lot in the bedroom where she's struggling to get orgasm. So I feel like sometimes it's other issues.
Yeah.
100%. And that's why maybe for me, where I'm struggle of like finding the energy, finding the time, even getting out of my mind to do that, it's probably comes from other issues that I need to like work on before I can be enjoying.
So ladies, about 75% of all women never reach orgasm from intercourse alone. That is without the extra help of sex toys, hands, or tongue. And 10 to 15% never climax under any circumstances.
Boy, 15%.
Wow. That struggle is hard. Under nothing, no toys, no hands.
You just can't. You just don't.
Oh.
But on the subject of there being so many different factors that play into why some women don't enjoy sex or have a low libido, that kind of thing, it might sound like I'm going off on a tangent, but a few of us are on like different fasts and things, and the one that I'm on is dealing with something called candida. Look it up. And there are different symptoms that you might have if you are dealing with a candida overgrowth, things like brain fog or things like digestion issues, all of that. And on the list is actual like sex, your libido.
Yeah.
So like even from a scientific perspective, if there is an imbalance within your body, it's going to affect other elements of your life.
I think for women is definitely a lot more psychological.
Yeah.
It's very tactical, but also I want to say more than half of it happens in your brain. And in
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because we need to feel comfortable. We need to feel at ease. And also, it literally clicks in your brain before it clicks anywhere else. So if you don't reach, you almost have to get there by yourself with your brain first in order to feel it on your body.
Mentally.
That's 100% true. Because like yourself. Even when like you might be in a moment with yourself or with someone else and like something might have been going on throughout the day and it keeps coming back into your mind whilst you're in the moment and you're like, oh my God, why am I thinking about this? Why am I thinking about this? And then the moment doesn't really happen because your brain wasn't involved in the moment.
I feel like with guys, it's a lot more physical and their brain just goes to one place.
Yeah, they got two brains.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? On or off.
It's just so easy.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, for one day, I would just love to swap, just to feel like what actually goes on in your brain that you can't control yourself.
Yeah.
But that's just how, I think that's the beauty of how we're created so differently. Because for guys, it's very visual. And as soon as they see something that they like, they're instantly turned on. For girls, I mean, I don't know. I definitely don't get turned on by anything that I see. I don't know about you guys, but that's not my
Really?
thing. No.
What do you mean by see? Like just looking at a picture of a guy without his shirt on? Obviously not, because that's a bit dead.
What? Why would you get?
But guys, for guys, that works. Seeing a girl without a thingy on, that turns them on. I mean, not obviously.
What, without a bra? Oh, it's a girl with some boobs.
I mean, page 3.
Great.
You know how the people wank to page 3 of the Sun or whatever.
Is that still a thing? I thought that was cancelled.
No, it's still there.
Wow.
So
I guess guys are a lot more visual.
Yeah, they're visual
because they can scroll on Instagram watching girl twerking all day.
Yeah, or see a beautiful picture of a girl, or even just see a girl walking past and be turned on. Like, I wish it was that easy for women.
So bizarre. No, but do you know has it never happened to you where like this really fit, good looking guy just has one of those silky smooth voices and like says something and you're like, oh.
But babes, you just said it. It's what he says. It's not you by looking at him.
It's not what he says. It's just, oh my God. Oh, what a nice voice. And very pretty.
Okay, but that's
build.
the thing. You're just saying the voice.
The build.
It's not. Or it's something behind the guy. It wasn't just his appearance. It's not him
it's
just
the whole
walking.
Package.
Yes.
And then you're like, I wonder what it'd be like to hug you. Right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So with girls, it's more of what we feel about you that turns us on rather than looking at
emotional connection.
Trying to place yourself in the moment.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the same in terms of...
Oh, wow, she's got a nice ass. Yeah, I'm turned on.
So, okay.
That sounds like fun, though.
It does. That's what I mean. Like, imagine just being,
just turned on all day. Oh, what a nice ass. Oh my God. Yep.
It just doesn't work like that.
I mean, I hope
girls.
that's not for every guys. Not speaking for every guys out there. So, needing the temptations.
Yeah, I think it is for every guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel
But
like we
you're
need to get a guy
okay.
up in here and ask. You say I'm okay?
Yeah, you're satisfying your men 5 times a week. I'm
I think, don't
pretty
get me
sure
wrong. I'm not
I'm
saying that.
satisfying myself too. It's not just for him out here.
fantastic.
Right?
Loving too.
That's it.
But that's the thing, T. I don't think it's because he's not getting satisfied that he's attracted to it. Like, men are attracted to women generally speaking.
Heterosexual men.
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, this
heterosexual.
topic came up the other day. I was saying to Jay, I was like, the thing with men, I feel like most men, they'll literally fuck anything as long as it's got a vagina.
That's
and then
the
he said
thing.
something like, yeah, in Jamaica they say, bag the face, I won't deal with the case.
Oh, okay.
Can you repeat
That's actually
slowly?
a saying. Bag the face and deal with the case.
As
So
in to
even if
bag
she's
on the
ugly
face.
and
Oh
look
my
like
God.
butch, put a bag on the face and just deal with
Oh my
what
God.
you need to deal with.
So that's what I mean. Like, guys are attracted to girls or heterosexual men are attracted to girls, or even gay men. They're attracted to what they see, basically. So obviously, whether you cross the line with the girl, that's up to you. If you have a woman at home, then it's up to you to like protect what you have. But the fact that they're attracted to another human being, that's normal, which for me is kind of crazy because I don't go walking around and being like, ooh, that guy's fit. Ooh, that guy. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, turned on. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And guys, that's what goes on in their head.
So in
But
that
then
same, yeah.
that's how messed up it is. But for us, it's more like you said, more emotional. So if we was to ever see a guy now, I'm like, oh my God, he's like so. We've already like analyzed him, the voice, the look, everything about him. So we're more dangerous when we get more turned on compared to a man. For them, it's just like, okay, on to the next. Do you know what I mean? Than if a female was
So
to
then
get
what are
turned
your
on.
thoughts on, in terms of like emotional connection, what are your thoughts on having sex with someone? Like, boys can have sex with whoever and not have that connection. And then the stereotype is that women, you know, if they have sex, they can't just have casual sex because they'll get emotionally attached.
That's a lie.
Okay.
I think women can have casual sex, no problem.
Yeah.
I think you
With
have
the same
to be.
person and not get attached?
I think you have to be.
What do you mean with the same person over and over, not
As
get
in, like,
attached?
casual sex, like, with one person one time, okay, whatever, and then another person another time, okay, there isn't any time to get attached to that person.
So the women are definitely more emotional beings, but I feel like you can't box every woman. You can't put every woman in the same box. Like, some women can switch on and off. Some women can just consider you as a piece of enjoyment, and that's it. They aren't emotionally. Others that, you know, struggle to orgasm, they have to be emotionally involved. They have to feel comfortable with the guy. They have to feel maybe a bit more of a connection with the guy that's not just physical in order to even enjoy the moment. But that's why I'm saying you can't put every woman in the same box because
Same with a
they're all
man, though.
different. I don't know.
So I'm sure there's maybe some male listeners out here and saying, well, you can't characterize all men.
True.
I feel like for the guys, I'm sorry, but from what I'm seeing, guys, hit us up on the comments. Let us know what you think. But what you see is, for the guy, that's it. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know.
Unless they already have an emotional connection towards you beforehand. Like, as in, like, if they're feeling you in a certain way before they have sex, then obviously the sex there for them, there's a connection. So
I don't know, not even.
Really?
I feel like for guys, it's literally they can have sex and bounce.
I think that's
without any issue.
Sometimes it could be reversed, where it's the guy that has the emotions and the girls.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but he'll have the emotions because he's either infatuated. That's not casual sex. If you're emotionally connected, that's not casual sex. So we're talking about casual sex here, where you're not emotionally connected. If you are emotionally connected, and the other person isn't, well, that's a different scenario. Casual sex meaning you can have sex with one person and just continue your daily life.
So you feel like women can't really do that, or a lot of women can't really do that without getting emotionally attached?
I feel like women can, but obviously it's different. It's different for everyone. As in, I guess what I'm trying to say is some women will eventually get emotionally attached, and others are completely fine keeping it casual. They actually don't want anything else.
Yeah,
that's fair. Okay, well, switching gears. I don't know if this was a podcast that I listened to or a book, because I'm reading some spiritual kinds of books where you're discovering yourself and like exploring different elements of our existence. There was something that I learned about love, and like when you fall in love with someone and that feeling of being in love, when you're in love with someone, you're your purest self, you have no barriers, you've let all your barriers down, you're not afraid to show who you really are. And the concept that they touched on was the idea that really that feeling of love is just your recognition of you being your truest self. It's not got anything to do with the other person. Sort of like you don't actually need a person to be in that moment of love, or what we think of as love, because essentially what that feeling is, that they thought what that feeling is essentially is your recognition of your own energy, of your purest self, of you being able to be you completely without any sort of hesitation. And that's really what it is. And it's sort of, I thought it was quite interesting, because then it kind of plays on the idea that, when you fall out of love with someone, it's potentially because the purest form of yourself has sort of evolved and changed, and because of that you're not seeing the reflection of that in someone else, so there's sort of like a disconnect there. So I thought it was interesting, because essentially what their conclusion is that being in love, essentially you don't actually need another person to have that pure form of love, because it's already within yourself.
I get that
100%. So you're saying that when you are in love is basically coming into contact with your purest form,
but you allowing to be yourself, basically.
But would you say
and falling in love with yourself?
Yeah, but would you say that you are in touch with that because you are loved and you are experiencing that love from someone else? That's why you are allowed to.
I think that's one element, but then I also think, when people say, oh, you have to love yourself first before someone can love you, I think that is what holds true with that theory, in that
before you know how to love.
Exactly, like how to truly love. Like you can fall in love with anyone, really and truly. You can put yourself in a position and get to know someone, and you guys can fall in love, but that love is not going to be lasting, because maybe you don't know yourself first. Like in knowing yourself, if you both of you know yourselves fully, then, having that reflection, seeing that you both know yourselves in that pure way is what creates a longer lasting love, is what the theory is saying.
Because when you love yourself, you automatically know what to accept and what your worth is. So obviously if someone come along now and showing you love and you're like, no, this is not love, because this is not how I'll love myself. So I fully understand and get what you're saying 100%.
So yeah, I just thought it was interesting, because obviously people are so obsessed with finding the one and falling in love and having those feelings, and really and truly what you're looking for is accepting who you are and not having anything stopping you from being your purest form of self.
That's beautiful.
Good. When like arranged marriages and just maybe an older aspect of falling in love, rather than the Hollywood version that we have in front of our eyes every day now. I don't know if I the falling in love thing, you decide when you're in love with a person and when you want to call it quits. I don't think it's a feeling. For example, many our parents or even our grandparents, they casually met and whatnot. But in other cultures, even in the African culture, to be honest, maybe even the Asian culture, where it's arranged by a family, and those marriages do last. And if you ask them, are you still happily married with them, some of them obviously will say no, or it was never love. But some actually say, yes, I've grown to love this
Yes,
man,
I've heard that a lot.
I've grown to love this woman, and I could never see myself apart from this person.
Yeah.
Because you that's the person that you've grown with, that's the person that you've experienced love with. So that you haven't you weren't in love first, but you became in love because of the values that they represent for you and because of the life that you have lived together.
Yeah.
So this whole thing of I'm not in love anymore, like, what does that even mean? I'm not in love anymore with you. Did you ever love me in the first place then?
That would be a no. It wasn't real love.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In my opinion, it wasn't real love.
Because yeah, you can fall out of love, but it's a choice. Like, I wake up every day and I choose to still love you, and I choose to still be with you. Because the moment I choose not to, then that's me calling it quits. Do you know what I mean? So this thing of, yeah, I used to love him and now, it's a bit different. Yeah, people grow apart, but that's why it takes two people to work at a relationship and to work at a marriage and to work at whatever you have, whatever you're building together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. You need to be mentally there as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you see, Tieona, because you have children, and I feel like this is the next level of love. Actually, I don't know, actually. But I feel like, for me, I feel like having children is experiencing unconditional love. It's like to the next level. So
yeah, that is so correct.
what is this love for you? Like, if you could describe it, if you could explain it to us.
For me, my love for my kids is, if I could lay in front, just this may sound a bit gruesome, if I could lay in front of a track and a train run over me to know that my boys are going to be safe and good for the rest of their life, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Like, I wouldn't even think twice, kind of thing. That's my definition of like loving these boys. I would starve myself. I go hungry, making sure they eat. If we're in a desert island and there's nothing for me to eat or whatever, when I'm dead, eat my dead body, make sure you survive, kind of thing. That's how I see it. Like, that's how my definition of true love. There's nothing compares, nothing.
Did you feel like, maybe like when you first hold it, like your boys in your hand, did you feel like this is a brand new feeling that I've never
I felt like,
felt
when
before,
someone
can you
say,
put it?
I don't know if it's the same, but when like someone get baptized and like there's a warmth over them or something, it literally feels like something placed this in my hand, say, this is yours to keep, like, I'm trusting you with this. Like, God himself came and, kind of like, it was, I don't know, I felt a warmth, like when I was doing chest to chest with them, like skin to skin contact.
Yeah.
It's like a whole warmth just come over me and like super emotional, like, okay, this is my flesh right here in my hand, that I have to take care of for the rest of his life. I'll do anything for this little life right here.
Do you feel like you have that love for anyone else but your boys?
That's a good question.
No, just those two boys.
Yeah.
So not even Jay.
No. No, it's a different kind of love. No. Because I'm not going to front, me and Jay, well, we just said, like, grew out of love, but I can wake up one day and be like, okay, I choose not to love this person no more. Like, I don't want to deal with all this no more. Like, this is my choice or whatever. But with Zealand and Xylon, no matter what those boys do, and as long as I'm alive, I don't care what choice or whatever they do, whatever you guys do, I'm following you. Like, you know, you have some parents that be like, oh, if my kids grow up to be this or be that, I'm disowning them. For me, it's not the case.
But do you feel like maybe parents grew out of love for their children at some point? Or do you feel like maybe because this, obviously, hate is the best friend of love, sisters, and it's so close, it's such close feeling. Like, you can be like loving someone and then suddenly you hate them and it's just like, wow, how did we get there? just because I feel like they're
not opposite feelings though, are they? They're both
no,
very
they're
intense.
not. Well, they're very intense. I feel that's why I said they're sisters and brothers because you can literally, and for me, I'm like, what are those parents that they get to the point where they're like, you know what, I don't want to hear about my child anymore. I don't want to like just go do what you need to do.
See, that's the difference of love is indifference.
See, but I've seen like moms that would just push out a baby and wouldn't want it. So that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. When I say, like, I feel like God himself come and place his child in me. Maybe God didn't go and place that child in her or whoever had that baby. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know how someone can just disown something that just came from them. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. So again, maybe...
There are different levels to that. There could be mental health issues as well. There might be an emotional disconnect for some people. But then obviously for some others, it could just be that they're not serious.
No. So my question is, do you have to push someone out of your vagina in order to love them that way? As in, say someone was placed into your hands out of, I don't know, adoption or maybe...
No, not necessarily. You don't have to be like, give birth or their birth parent. Not necessarily, because it's going back to what I said as well. Is if God give you something and it's meant for you, you know what to do with it. You're going to feel that. It doesn't have to be, oh, you're a birth parent or nothing like that. Not at all. No, but speaking like obviously from a mom, my love that I have for my boys is different compared to the love that I have with my partner. You know,
I've heard a lot of. I always ask this question to moms because I just find it so fascinating how it's different. The love that you have for even your spouse, that is the closest person to you, is completely different to the love you have for your kids.
It is, and to think obviously your spouse was there before the kids, but trust me, guys, it's an amazing experience. I cannot wait until you guys are moms.
Hey, you are going to be in the delivery room. Like, trust and believe that, mate.
Not wait.
A lot of men actually struggle with that because, you know, they've lived for how many ever years with the woman of their dreams, and then the baby comes along and they're completely replaced.
Yeah.
And I think for us, I was even speaking to one of my friends that's a new mom, and she was saying, Ange, it's a struggle. Like, we have to actually make an effort to remember our husbands and to actually remember, like, just as much as I change this guy's diaper, this little baby's diaper, and feed him, like, I have a responsibility towards my husband, and it's so easy to just fall in the trap. Well,
oh no, for me, I feel like I don't forget that. I feel like I still have that. Like,
but you're very nurturing. Like some women, to the point where,
like for me, I feel like I want to do things for Jay. I really like, you know, want to still wash his clothes, cook his food, all of that. You know, like I haven't forgotten him, because without him, these kids wouldn't be here as well. Yeah. So definitely remember the man's part in it. Don't forget about him. I'm just like,
But then even looking on, there's also the flip side of that as well, though, Ange. Like going back to love and hip hop, looking at Sin and Joe Budden. It's on the flip. It's the flip side of that.
Explain
because
for us that don't know
for those
anything.
that do not know, Joe Budden and Sin Santana, I think her surname is, are a couple on
her name
the
is
show.
Sin, S-I-N.
Cynthia.
Oh,
don't worry, no sinning here. And they've recently had a baby. Now the issue here with them is that with this baby, there's obviously now not enough time to spend nurturing their own relationship as a couple, with the male in the relationship wanting to have that family time and looking after the baby, and the female in the relationship wanting to have that couple time. She wants to get banged by her husband or boyfriend or whatever.
It's the guy that's looking
and she's
after...
like, when am I gonna have sex? I just want to have sex with my guy. It's not happening.
But that's her.
You know, you can't. It could be the flip
side
of that as well.
She has postnatal depression though, but her one is like the opposite, because it can either be where you overly love the baby, you don't want to leave the baby, or it could be where you don't even want to see the baby.
Yep, true that.
There's a difference.
Go on, Lo.
I do think that, to be honest, she hasn't much going on for herself. And the thing is, her boyfriend is giving her value. She doesn't have her own value by herself. Ooh. I feel like if Joe doesn't like show that he wants her, he wants to have sex with her, okay, then what am I doing? Yeah. She's not doing anything else. I feel like she's very young, and I feel like, frankly, she should get a job. Like, she should have something going on for herself. You wanted that man because he was like,
he's a hustler.
He was about his stuff, about his business. And now what? Now that he's like that, and obviously you're at home and you don't have your own thing going on, and you're like, okay, what? So I feel like she's more looking towards him to kind of define her. I don't know.
kind of makes sense.
I think definitely after postpartum thoughts creep in, and so because I don't know anything about these two people's lives, did she always feel that way about her partner?
No, I think before, when they were together, they were having sex all the time. They were quite that
and
couple that
the
was quite
baby's
raunchy. Now the baby's here, and Joe's really busy because his career is popping off, and like when he's home, he wants to focus on the family and the baby because he's happy to be a dad for the second time and do fatherhood right this time. So for him, that's his focus.
Really important,
And then for her, it's, well, when am I going to have sex?
Because I think after pushing out a baby or after having a baby, a woman does kind of need that comfort and reassurance.
Yeah.
Of just definitely. Like, I still love you, you're amazing, you're actually
you're
the
still
mother
sexy.
of mine, you're still sexy. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's also that. Obviously, I don't know anything about her life, so probably I can't really comment.
I feel like it's what Loriane is saying. It's a bit of that, and also you're right. You do need that reassurance, like, okay, I'm so sexy for my man, and not just taking your word for it, but you kind of want to see me and grab me and hold me down, kind of thing. So, I understand where she's coming from as well.
On the topic of love, let's talk self-love. What does that mean for you guys? Because obviously, you know, there's a big hashtag and all of these things on the gram. But what does it actually really mean for you guys? What would you define self-love as?
You know what? I'm going to go first. I've never actually really struggled with feelings of like insecurity or it's never been a huge thing in my life. Like I've grown up the first of 5 kids and I've always been quite confident in the way that I am. So in that sense, I've loved myself. Where I lack in loving myself is my talent. So in terms of my physical aspect, that's never really been a huge issue. When it comes to the things that I can do, that's where my insecurities creep in. Like, I'm not good enough for this, or, oh, I'm not talented enough for that. I'll never get this job. That's where my self-love needs to improve. If we give a distinction between like physical self-love, and I don't know how we want to characterize the other one, maybe character self-love, I don't know, I'm just loving on. But yeah, so that's that in terms of myself, until recently, where I did start feeling a bit insecure because of, I think I've woken up to the fact that, you know, I am going to be with one person for the rest of my life, or I want to be with one person for the rest of my life. And I hope that he feels the same way about me. But knowing that there are other circumstances out there where things could creep in, that makes me feel insecure.
What do you mean?
Okay.
She wants to get to the tea. What do you mean?
Loriane's like, spill it all, honey.
No, it's just because before, you know, I'm quite happy-go-lucky in the sense that, you know, I've always thought if I hope to be everything for one person, and I hope to, you know, I hope we can just grow together and whatnot. And I think I am, you know, I'm not saying that my partner doesn't see me in that way at all. But
my
it's
thing
just,
to that is just let go and let God.
Yeah.
God is good.
It's just knowing, you know what it is.
Say all the time.
Yeah, all the time. You know what it is? It's actually listening to other guys speaking that makes me feel insecure. Because the way that they speak about women, then you start thinking...
If they're not married, you don't need to be listening to them.
But that's the thing, they are babes.
What were they saying about women?
Which man's this?
It's just the way that they speak. Certain men just speak about women in such a way that you're like, gosh, is that what goes on in guys' heads?
Can you give us an example?
Yeah, what are they saying?
Give us the rundown.
I need the tea. I need it hot.
I'm out here trying to get a ring, so I need to know what these fellas are thinking.
So, for example, I was listening to this podcast, because I'm telling you, I've been listening to quite a few random bits here and there. So it was a couple, it's a couple's podcast, and they just give like advice, or they answer questions and they give their opinion, and then people write in. And this guy, they were talking about cheating, and this guy was saying, you know, they were actually talking about the difference between emotional cheating and physically cheating.
Yeah.
And when do you actually, when can you actually pinpoint you are emotionally cheating on me? Mm-hmm. Is it because he is sexting? Is it because he is maybe feeling is maybe saying too much by a text, and he's not confiding in you and he's confiding in someone else? Anyways, that was the topic that they were kind of discussing. And it got to the point where the guy was saying, well, you know, us as guys, you know, who our eyes are always open. You know, you go to work and oh no, so that's the thing. So they said, can attractive people be friends? If you're attracted to a different someone of the same sex, someone of the different sex, can you be friends? And I was just like, well, you can be friends. In my opinion, I was just like, you can be friends if you know how to control yourself and whatnot. But he said that a lot of the times, you know, you see your wife in the morning getting the kids ready, then you see your wife at night looking how she looks at the end of the day, and you see, and maybe on the weekends. So quick morning, quick evening, weekends. The other person that you spend your 40 hours a week with at work is looking hot every single second because you never see them in their raggedy clothes and is looking on point. And whether
he speaking from his personal experience, that is what he's thinking, like, yeah,
no, he's giving the examples of, I think he's a comedian, so he worked in like Hollywood, and you know, you're on set with a person, and you know, you never see them on their bad side or on their off days. You always see them looking 100%, and you're just like, ooh, okay.
That's so shallow.
But it's not, because that's what guys. Wait. But that's what guys are. Visual people. They don't think, oh, is she going through a hard time at home, or how is she with her husband? They just think she's hot. She's hot, and she looks
whether
amazing.
you act on it.
Exactly.
Is the point.
Exactly. But
that's what differs if you're a strong man or not.
But that's so. Imagine your wife, I don't know, slips up one day and says, "Look, I can't stand you." Da da da. This other person at work gives you all the attention that you need. From one thing leads to another, and before you know it.
So the moral of the story.
So the moral of the story is: can you be friends with someone that you find attractive?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm single, 100%.
So no. Of course, if you're, can you be friends with someone you're attracted to?
Because I'm more attracted to my man, not physically, but what he can do and what I see us gonna do. This guy is just there now.
But the guy was saying that he struggles with it, and that's why I was just like, damn,
this
man.
just got me.
He said this next to it with his wife or girlfriend right next to him.
You know what this just gave me?
He said it to his wife. Not that he struggles with it, but like it's hard, and he wouldn't put no. Okay, so
I
in
have
his
some
defense,
questions for Jay tonight.
In his defense, he was. That's what I came home thinking as well. That's what I came home thinking.
And then he's gonna be like, "Man, go away with your positive."
So in defense of this guy, he was saying that I would never put myself in the situation where stuff was to happen. So if I find the person attractive, I'd make sure I'm in a group. I'd make sure that I was just like, even so, that is all that creepy.
Temptation is
Do you
too
know
much?
What I mean? Do you know what I mean? So that freaked me out, and I was just like, gosh, is that what all guys think? And it just burst my bubble. Like, I have to admit it. I came home just like in a different mood.
But mind you, I have. This conversation has come up before between me and Jay, and I said to him, babes, like, give me the rundown. How are you? Because I know there must be temptations out there. And he's just like, yeah, there is temptation. He's not going to lie. You've seen, like, you know, girls out there and they're always, like, you know, like flirting with him or whatever. But I was like, so, but what? And he's always like, he said he knows what he has. So from him saying that, that's enough for me. But you saying that now, saying about, oh, me going to say, oh, I can't deal with your shit no more. And then he now go run to Becky. Do you know what I mean?
With the good hair.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so that's where I was just like, wow, is that what guy... Because I don't think that. If I'm friends with someone that's attractive, like, that doesn't change anything at all. I'm just like, yeah, he's an attractive man.
Yeah, but like you said, Ange, men are more visual. We're not.
And that's what I mean.
So you're thinking from a point of, I wouldn't do anything because there's no emotional connection there for you to do anything. You'd have had to have created some sort of situation for yourself for you to even jump ship. Mm-hmm. Whereas I guess in terms of looking at what this man keeps saying is that because they're visual creatures, that...
Is it because men are like, obviously, you know, that's how they mate? Like,
but it's not just visual. What he said though, it's someone he's with 40 hours a week, 40 hours a week. So he's getting to know that person. So it's not just visual no more, is it?
He's saying, he was giving various examples. You know, it could be someone at work, it could be someone at church that, you know.
Yeah, you're still seeing that person interacting.
Yeah, but this is how men find the woman. This is how they mate. They're looking for looks. Like, you look good, that means you're healthy, that means you can carry a child. This is like your primitive instinct. As to when women will be more like, we're looking for security and everything. So forget about you're not attracted to a guy. Like, you can be friends with an attractive guy. Can you now be friend with a guy that comes to you and show you the lifestyle differently than your husband? The man that fills the gap, that give you that security when you're lacking it at home. That's the way you should ask women, because this is how we're gonna be triggered.
Yes.
Compared to like guys who's gonna be triggered by looks, because this is how they, okay, you look good. Oh, she seems like she's fertile. Yeah, let's go.
I'm dead.
That's their thing. But for us women is more on the side where we need security, we need reinsurance, we need someone that listens to us. So if you have someone coming with all that package, and at home maybe you're a bit struggling, or you've been with your guy for ages and stuff, will you get triggered at this time?
I don't know. Again, maybe I'm just literally thinking in the four walls of my brain. For me, being attracted to someone because of what they can provide is completely different to being attracted to someone for their physical looks. And that for me just makes me feel insecure. The fact that you are attracted to someone because they look better than me. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if maybe it's I'm saying it in a weird way. I'm coming from a female perspective, but for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm attracted to him because he's rich. I mean, I don't know, or he can offer me better security, or he can do this, or he can do... It's totally different than... Because I want to be everything. I want to be the one that my partner finds attractive. I want to be the most beautiful woman in the world for him. Mm-hmm. When you're not, or when you see that, like, okay, or when you start hearing like, well, actually there are a lot of other attractive women in the world that he could potentially be attracted to.
But then that's when personality and your character outweighs all of that. Outweighs a guy if he has money, outweighs a woman if she's got the fattest ass, sexiest small waist, whatever, prettiest face. Your personality should outweigh that, and your character, just your whole being. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should make your man just be like, I don't even see those hoes. Like, I'm gonna keep it pushing. Do you know what I mean? So,
but it's difficult, I guess. I guess it also plays on what you were saying earlier about letting go and letting God sort of take the wheel, because like what you were saying, Ange, is I want to be the woman of your dreams. I want to be the one that fulfills these boxes for you and like ticks all these boxes. But really, then the question is an element of like trying to control the narrative. You can't control the way someone views you or the way they interact with you. You just got to engage with them and trust that the way that you're feeling is the way that they're feeling for you as well. And just trust that everything that God, Allah, the universe, whatever you believe in, everything will work out how it should. Yeah. So I guess from what I'm seeing is there's an element of taking a step back and removing ego from it, or removing that element of trying to control the narrative, because I think that's what it is. That's maybe playing on your insecurities or whatever it is that you were feeling in that moment. Maybe isn't necessarily what these guys were talking about, but more about losing the control that you might have over how you're viewed. Because a lot of the time, what I'm reading in my spirituality books is that the reason you're upset, the reason you think you're upset is not really the reason that you're upset about something, or the reason you're angry or you think you're angry, that's not the real reason that you're angry. So here, the reason that you're feeling these sort of negative emotions, or you were triggered by what he said, might not be because, oh no, what if my partner thinks this about me as well? It could be, oh, that means that I can't control, or I have no say or any influence over how someone views me. So that could be something to think about.
Yeah, you really need to get your facts from someone that's been...
one. I like that you said ego, because when you were talking, I was like, yeah, that's the ego talking.
Yeah, you get your facts from someone that's been together for like 20 years, 30 years. Those couples. Okay, what made you love this woman for so long? You must have had temptation. You must have had, you know? I feel like we need to talk to people who's been married for years. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm sure everyone's got temptation, the man and the woman. they've been through struggles, but you can't really talk to someone that's
I
freshly
think there was
married.
this quote, I heard it somewhere. It's like this old couple, they were together for years. And then they asked, look, so how did you guys manage to stay together for so long? And then she was like, oh, because I grew up in the era where something is broken, we try to fix it. We don't go and buy a new one.
Is this from the show Black Love? Because someone said that
actually.
on there as well, and I was like,
Black
"That's
Love.
so interesting."
I've seen that.
Yeah,
There's
and I
another
thought, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. If you've not watched Black Love, you need to watch it.
Oh, another
I
one.
don't
You guys
like
told me
that.
about Greenleaf.
No,
I
I
started
like it. Was
Greenleaf now.
so good. No, this
No,
is
Black
real
Love
people.
is not a show. It's like a docu-series.
Oh, so it's like reality.
It's like
Yeah.
celebrities from Hollywood talking about the marriage.
Oh,
and how,
okay.
like,
Just
what-
different things that they deal with. How do you deal with infidelity? How do you deal with when
every
kids come in?
single one
All of them.
infidelity.
I
had
don't
dealt
like
with
Black
infidelity,
Love.
mate. Oh, why?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just watched it and I was like, why am I watching these people telling me about their love story?
You can learn something, Lo.
I liked hearing their perspective, but I
Yeah.
just feel like Hollywood is just not reality.
It's not.
I feel like the lives that they go through and the love affairs that they have, proof, man. I would not want to be
Yeah.
in that situation. Like if we're talking about our little sexy secretary here at work, they're constantly with attractive
Yeah.
people and people with money and people
and
that
people
can
with no
outdo
money
you.
that are trying to get in on it,
Literally.
that are
You know what I mean?
thirsty.
Yeah, so oh man, every single person from Black Love has dealt with either
I
emotional
feel like all
infidelity
those girls
or
in
sexual
Hollywood,
infidelity.
sorry to say, must have some kind of insecurities because they all look the same at the end of the day. Small waist, big ass, like, do you know what I mean? Like, come on,
Tieona's
they all
bored.
look the same. I've seen all of them. What's it? Love and Hip Hop, Married to Medicine. What's the other one? Wags.
Real Housewives.
They're all.
Let's not forget.
That was lovely.
Yeah.
Are we
But
calling
did
it a day?
We can call it a day. I just wanted to finish with this. I feel like I'm the only one who answered about my self-love.
Oh,
Boy, Angela, you went on. You went
you
on.
went on a
I
tangent.
completely forgot. That's why I even asked.
Yeah, because and I don't even know if I answered. Was that what you were
No,
wanting
you
to
said
hear?
no.
'Cause
What is self-love to you? There's no right or wrong
Yeah,
answer.
I define self-love in like physical self-love, like I love myself, I love my body, and then more of like my talents and my dreams and stuff. What about you guys?
Self-love.
Because that was one of your mantras and mottos.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out.
And how are you figuring it out?
I guess just trying to understand myself a little bit more. I can't really tell you what it is to self-love because I'm just trying to figure it out. I just know that I feel like I'm lacking because sometimes I do feel insecure about certain stuff. I do feel like I'm not really putting myself out there. I feel like people that have a lot of self-love, they manage to just put themselves out there. I'm just still trying to figure it out.
But that could be self-love in itself. The fact that you're even taking the time to discover what it means for you.
What about you, Ez?
For me, the obvious things like taking time to get your nails done or have that evening to yourself where you're not talking to anybody or checking Instagram or WhatsApp. Those little things, of course, trying to implement that. But then also recognizing that the advice that you give to your friends, the support you give to your friends, when you tell your friend, don't worry, it wasn't that bad, or don't be so hard on yourself, you're fine, it'll be okay. Those things that you're telling other people, telling it to yourself, because I find that for me personally, I'm very hard on myself and other people, but I'm hardest on myself. Just in terms of, oh, why didn't I get that job? Or why didn't I succeed with this? Or, oh my God, I forgot the words on the stage and what the hell is that? And then you you just don't realize how mean you can be to yourself. If you knew
That's
that someone,
a really good one.
when you was,
It's just showing a bit of love to yourself.
if someone was saying all those things that you say to yourself in just one day to your friend, and your friend told you, this is what this person was saying to me all day, you would be like, okay, we need to check this person because that's out of order. You can't treat someone like that. And
That's
yet,
what I was saying
that
about
is
myself.
that's how I treat myself. So really learning to take it easy and tell myself I am enough. That is how I'm practicing self-love.
That's a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Wow. All three of those are amazing. I feel like mine's the obvious. Obviously, after having 2 kids,
Whoop, whoop.
I hate my body when I look in the mirror. Hate it.
Nah.
By the way,
Hate
for
it.
those that haven't seen Tieona, she's a hottie.
Yes.
Please. hate it. So
what is it that you hate? What, like your belly or
my stomach?
Oh, Tieona.
My boobs, especially Xylon.
It's your fault.
Just I don't know. I just feel like I just need to come to terms with that and accept that I've done this, like, an amazing thing that a woman's meant to do or a body can do, and just kind of learn to kind of love it or just deal with it, I guess. But that's definitely my thing. That's a big struggle.
Well, I'm glad it doesn't make you feel insecure or anything.
Yeah.
Because you'll be rocking these outfits.
Isn't it?
But that's the thing, but I'm wondering if is that me covering it up? Because if you ask Jay, he will tell you another story. You know what I mean? Because he's always like saying to me, baby, look fine. I'm always like saying to him, no, I hate my body. I can't wear this no more. I can't buy that. So I don't know. Is that me kind of trying to cover it up?
Well, you didn't show us that in Mykonos.
Right? This one was pulling out all the outfits.
While trying to suck in the stomach.
Like, honestly, mum on holiday or what?
I guess it's going to come. And like Ezzy said, you have to be kind to yourself. Like, how old is Zylan?
19 months.
Give yourself some time, mate. You're gonna bounce back.
And
there is some women,
and also
they
you
have
had
children
one
5
after
years
the
ago.
other, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like how old? 2 years.
They're like say a year and 7 months apart.
Exactly. You've had like one after the other, so I don't think you even given your body the chance to even come back from the first one, and then you had your second one. So you just have to
wait for that bounce back. Hey, I'm waiting.
But even so, some women say you have to recognize that your body might never go back to how it was before,
and it
which
doesn't
is
need
fine.
to.
Yeah, that's the thing, which is fine. This is still Tieona. This is a new version of Tieona, and your body will continually evolve. Like when we reach a certain age, our body starts changing. When we, so I think as women, we'll always have that thing going on of
100%.
From when you're a teenager and you're like, oh, everyone's developed and I'm still here struggling, waiting for my boobs to grow.
But then that's the issue with like media and stuff. Like we're still like, I guess, classified as quite like young women, and so we're always like comparing ourselves against what the media shows us, how our bodies should look, and all of these things. For me, I'm just looking forward to when we're like 60 or 70 and we're all laughing at, oh my God, guys, you know what it's like to be on your menopause. Oh my God, my boobs now reach my knees, and just laughing about it and not taking it seriously, because at that point you don't care what you look like.
Have you seen the 70-year-olds nowadays?
Yeah,
what you
obviously,
talking about?
apologies to those that might be listening. I'm generalizing.
Mate, Jada
you know what I
Pinkett's
mean.
mom
just gonna
looks
say
better
that.
than me.
But yeah, I feel like in terms of you, Tieona, and thinking, oh, I need to bounce back. Bounce back to where? You don't need to do anything. As long as you are healthy, you are happy, you are raising two beautiful human beings, and that is not an easy job. That trumps, oh, I need to get into this bikini. Who really cares at this point? Can I also say, I've not had any kids, and I have never had that flat belly, that, the perky bums, all of that. I also just hide it with my clothes. Like, you don't have to look a certain way in order to be okay. You don't need to bounce back to anywhere, girl, honestly.
Thanks, girls.
You really don't.
And, as long as you feel comfortable and you feel like your man is still looking at you the same way.
5 times a week. So we know
I know,
he is. So we know that's okay.
Some people are out here,
right?
like, struggling and stuff.
Right?
Yeah, no, thanks, girls.
No, mate. Honestly, self-love.
Good chat. So, guys, Valentine's. Let us know your thoughts. What did you do for Valentine's?
We talk about a lot of stuff. Where did we come from?
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day. We're talking about love. There's a lot of things to talk about. It's such a big topic.
See, live, you can just free flow it.
Yeah, let us know how was your Valentine.
Yeah, let us know your comments. What do you think? True love, sex, what else?
Or even some disastrous Valentine's days that you might have had, because everybody loves to, have a little giggle. Let us know.
Let us know if you got dressed up and the man didn't come. He was with the main.
Okay.
Let us know. Want to know. There's love all here.
Let us know if you had any freaky corners, any
parks.
Any parks. Oh, it's still winter, isn't it? But yeah.
Still when you're heated. In
Your cheeks so cold.
On the grass, prickling your bums.
Let us know. Oh my God. Give us some good places in London to hide with the cars. Come at us. Yes.
Yeah.
Some places in East London.
East London.
Okay, so Tieona
And
will hit you guys
warehouses.
up. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let us know, guys. We are over and out.
Bye.
Ciao.